to know what we're doing. We
remember
hope.
that one. We're working on it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Come on now. Come up. There it is. Okay.
All right, we'll get there.
And we should be good.
Yeah. Now, if you want to.
And
Well, there's Janice and Carol and Bobby. Yay! Welcome, girls.
we covered it for a minute. Oh, that must be.
And Kathy and Chris. Yay! More people watching. We're
This is
almost
not
ready to
it.
turn this sucker on and see what we're doing. I think you're on the wrong
Yeah,
one.
I am. This is from last week.
Yeah.
Come on. Get out of there.
Robin's having trouble finding us for tonight.
I know. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Reload. Refresh.
Are we up? There you go.
There, that's the one. That's what we needed.
Hi,
Okay.
Kelly.
Don't look so worried.
Everybody, welcome. And Nancy, how's the weather in Colorado? Are you snowed in yet? Boo. And Sandy, hey Sandy, welcome. We'll give people a couple of minutes to sign in here and start watching. We know you're from Colorado. Ask if it's cold. Hi, Bobby.
Can you write down your password for your Wi-Fi so I don't use up a lot of my data?
Oh dear, that may be a challenge.
Okay. Well, you know what? We'll work on it next time.
Yeah. All right, sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
No, but it's getting chilly, 55 today. Nancy, that may be chilly in Colorado. We're in Florida, remember that. It's cold. Bobby, you're in Wisconsin. That's cold. Anything below 70 is cold. Remember, we're in Florida. We don't like to be cold. Hey, Linda. I'm going to tell you, girls, as we get started with this, we're going to start something new tonight. If you go and share this with some of your friends tonight, and then just put a comment saying share, at the end of the evening, we are going to, hi Carol, we're going to have a drawing, and one of the people who shares is going to win a prize. So put in your comments, share. We're going to trust that you're doing it. Hi, Deanna. Welcome. This is different from your registration. This is just typing a comment saying you shared it with somebody. It can be one person, it can be 100 people. The more the merrier. We're going to keep having fun. We have seen a huge increase in the last few weeks of the number of people who are watching now that we kind of figured out the technology. That helped. How do we share, Sandy says. You want to explain that?
At the bottom of your
Why don't you just type a comment there?
Okay.
Hi, Karen.
I'm gonna show them.
Robin's going to type a comment telling you how to share. If you share it with others, again, at the end of the night, in addition to a prize for everybody who registers, we're going to have a prize for those who have. Bobby figured it out. Good. Hey, Faye Walker, you need to share so you can get it out to people, and you might get something won tonight. It's good stuff. Hey, Nancy, thank you. Hey, Janice. It was good to see you this week. And Kelly has shared. See, spread the word. We're going to have a ball here. Just keep sharing that baby. Tell everybody about it.
All right, so I've got, who else has been sharing here?
You've got your
Bobby,
If you have not registered in the past, please do. If you have not sent me your email address, now if you've put it in your comments and you've registered, we should have it. This technology is still not quite where I want it to be, but we want to be sure that we can send you the free pattern for the mystery. Some of you are further along on the mystery than the rest of you. So I have gone back and I've made separate lists. Those who are on like step 3 or whatever are on one list, and those who are newer to it are going to be on the newer list. And we'll keep doing that. We want you to all have your list. One group already has a Facebook group that they're showing some of their steps on. And so I will set up a separate Facebook group for those of you who are newer to it, and I'll send you an invitation. If you want to join it, we'd love to have you. It's just so you can share what you're working on and how your mystery looks as you go along, and then of course the big reveal at the end. But we don't want the first group showing the rest of you until you catch up. It's not fair. Everybody wants to see it as they're working on it. So, okay, we've got you down for the sharing. Everybody understands about sharing. And the registering on the IG. We want you to be sure that you are registering and making sure that we have your email so we can keep you up to date on your mystery. I'm explaining, or I'm asking really, those of you who received your step 1 this morning, if you did not get it and you were expecting it, please let me know. I did have a couple of problems with some of the emails, but I think I got that straightened out. So you'll get step 2 when we finish tonight. And we are a little bit better on our technology tonight, so I will get them out tonight on the new lists. Now, the question came into me this week of what happens when we get to the end of this mystery. Well, guess what? We're going to have another mystery. Yay! I love writing mysteries. I love doing mysteries. And it gives you the opportunity to use some of your stash so that you've got something to do with all that stuff. Hey, Peggy, thank you. And we want to have all that out there so you can keep playing and keep doing new stuff. And you can do, like, there's one member on this group, I will not mention to her who it is, who has set up a notebook. And she has my patterns in it. She has received enough number of them. So she told me she has her own Jerry Stubbe notebook. So there's an option for you. I'd love to see that and love to hear about it. Okay, today I'm going to start you off with something fun. I have been quilting. I made my first quilt in 1973. When I was pregnant with my youngest daughter. I didn't know squat. I had never, that person says her book is full, getting full. Well, Nancy, get another book.
Or get a thicker one.
Get a bigger book. I didn't own a sewing machine. Didn't know what I was doing. There were no classes to be had. So we were living at Fort Benning, Georgia at the time, and I went out to some discount place. I don't remember what it was, a dime store, something that carried fabric, and I bought 3 different colors of the same print of what was then called flannelette, which was probably the thinnest flannel you have ever in your life seen. It was just really thin. I rented a sewing machine. I went home, I cut out a piece of cardboard, and I cut with scissors, because that's all we had in 1973. Hi, Beth. I cut out squares, and I sewed it together. Well, obviously, a bassinet slopes in, so it wasn't going to be straight anyway. But I got that thing put together with a piece on the outside, and I quilted it. And then I washed it, and it went so cattywampus. It was crazy. It stretched, it moved, it did everything. Well, it was getting close to when she was going to be born. So I went ahead, I used it. We used it until she outgrew the bassinet, and unfortunately I threw it away. I was so unhappy with it. But it was a start. And then in the next year, my aunt died and left me her sewing machine. So I was on a roll. We moved to Germany a few years later. Well, there were a few years in between where I did a little stuff, but not a whole lot. But then moved to Germany and met up with this wonderful quilting group, and we did challenges a lot. But they were group challenges. Hi, Susan. And so oh, you're in Georgia tonight. Okay. I decided I would challenge myself to make a quilt within the 2 weeks between one meeting and the next. I could use nothing but what was in my scrap bin. And we didn't have fabric stores over there, and we didn't have the internet in those days. So what I had was truly scraps. And so I went home and I found a pattern, and I started work. And I made all of my blocks. And all of my blocks look like this. This was the top of the block, and it went down to here. So they were kind of crazy shaped anyway. Oh, I don't have on my microphone. I hope you guys have not missed all of this. We'll see if we can't fix that. Make it a little easier. Plug in. All right, can you plug that in for me? That end of it. That better?
Did I move it too much?
Huh?
It got moved. It got shifted.
It's fine.
Okay.
I hope that's better. Anyway, when I got all my blocks put together in this long, narrow thing, and it was good, it was off 1/8 of an inch. Little bitty 1/8 of an inch. And I thought, oh, 1/8 of an inch doesn't matter. Well, when I put on the first border and the second border, it did. And if you look at this, you'll see that my morning glories tilt their head to one side. See how that twists here out to this side? That 1/8 of an inch was here, but then when I added this, and obviously the binding, this came up this far and then whoop, off to one side. It just about broke my husband's mind. He kept saying, I hate that thing because it's crooked, fix it. And I said, nope, it is hand quilted, it is done. So it hung there for many, many years. So it was a lesson learned, and it was a fun thing to do. Okay, tonight we are going to be talking about better flannels than what I used for that bassinet cover, which I called flannelette. And I doubt if any of you are as old as I am, but that was what we called it, was flannelette. And it was really loosely woven, thin and messy. Hated it. But it's what we had. Made a lot of kids' pajamas out of it and that sort of thing. Maywood has this new flannel that's called Woolies. Don't ask me why Woolies versus flannel, but that's what they call it. It's a very tightly woven fabric. It's very sturdy. You see, you cannot see through it. And when I pull it and tug it, you can see that there is a give. Obviously, it's going to have a bias edge, but it does not stretch out of shape. When I do that, it still comes back to the shape it should be. So this is one of my favorite fabrics. Now, when I first designed this quilt, it's called Prince Charming, Prints, Prince Charming. It was in McCall's Pre-Cut magazine, I think it was May of 2019. And I originally did it with some fabric from Moda. and that fabric has long been gone, except for one jelly roll. I got one jelly roll left. But I decided that I wanted to make it out of woolies. And so this particular colorway is a fall colorway. And I've shown some of you this one before, but I wanted to bring it back because this week Maywood sent me 5 new colorways that are awesome. Just awesome. So, the first one is their neutral line. Now I'm going to get these up here and just kind of fan them out so you can see them. These are all grays and then into the darker shades. There's a little bit of a brown gray in there. I think of these particular prints as kind of guy fabric. So we go into a black and then a deeper black, and that is actually, you can see it, yeah, it's got little lines in it. There's no solid in it. It's all different prints. And then it goes on, it starts to move into some of the browns, and then we go a little further and there's tans and browns, and they change color again. And then it goes into tans to more whites. We have, this particular pattern takes a charm pack and a jelly roll. And these jelly rolls look huge. Isn't that a sucker there? But it's because of the thickness of the fabric. It has 40 2.5-inch strips, and you can see some of those fabric colors in there better. But the neutrals, I think this would be a very beautiful quilt done if you have someone like my daughter who has her house done beautifully in what you see mostly on HGTV, the grays and the whites and the tans. So if you're interested in that, the, well, I lost it here. Where'd it go? The charm squares, you put in sold 110. This is $14.99 for the charm squares. There are, let's see, there are 42 charms here. You will have leftovers of your charms when you make this quilt. But I'm going to show you some things you can do with those. 110, it's $14.99 for the charm squares. The jelly roll is 100, sold 100. Now, this afternoon, I started thinking about what could I have done with my leftovers from this one. And I had used a black piece of woolies for the back of it. It's kind of a brown black. It's actually in this packet. And I made a pillow out of some of those leftovers, and this was the backing piece right here. Okay, I still had some left over when I was finished with that. And I had already put some of them together in squares, so I will go ahead and make another pillow out of that. There's still plenty to do that. So this would make a really great Christmas gift for somebody who lives where it's cold. This quilt ends up about 57 by 75, somewhere in that range. But the other thing you could do with some of your leftovers here, you could cut, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw up some shapes and put these with that in the fall colors. I could cut leaves from this, and then I could applique them in these larger squares that we've got here. Either a satin stitch, a buttonhole stitch, or just a straight stitch. just something, so if you didn't want to, what I did was stitch in the ditch, and then I used a little ruler work on the centers. So if you didn't want to do that, you could do a little applique in there. You could even take something like this, cut it down, and put that, like that, as an applique in the center, like that, to change it up a little bit. This is such a versatile pattern, and it's so much fun to work with. I do have one set of that particular color. I did not list it with a number, but if you're interested in it, it is the same. This one was called Heritage, but this is a discontinued colorway. This one has the same colors that you're seeing up there, and if anybody's interested in that, if you want to just tell me you want the original, just put a comment in there and say original, and we'll take care of it. Now, on to the next colors. These are gorgeous, gorgeous colors. This one is called Holiday Warmth. Now, this is obviously going to be your Christmas colors. And we're going to start with the greens, the deeper greens. And it goes really deep there. I know a lot of people like to make Christmas quilts. And this is a quick, fast one to do for Christmas. You'll see some of the prints are the same, and yet, because they're different colors, they look entirely different. Bonnie Sullivan was the designer of this fabric. I'm sure most of you are familiar with her work. I don't know if you know that Bonnie Sullivan is just a prolific quilter, and she's done some beautiful quilts. Unfortunately, in the fires in the West, she had just moved to Oregon, outside of Portland, and they had built their home and had everything in it. Her husband had gone back to Australia, and she got all there, and you know what? Her house burned down. Everything she owned, her cars, her quilts, everything. So she had some challenges, but she's getting better and she's doing fine. But she's just a wonderful designer, and I love her fabrics. My recent block of the month that you may see in the new Quilt Market virtual show called Doctors and Dresses is done in another line of her fabric, not flannel, but cottons. But that is your Holiday Warmth colorway. That one for the Charm Squares is 102. And that's that one. And 103 is the Jelly Roll. Look at those. Isn't that just gorgeous? I just love these colors. I want to make one out of everything. Or if you've got another pattern that you like to use with your strips, this is a fun thing to do. When I wrote this pattern, I tried to think about what was the easiest way for you to work with it and to cut it. And we came up with a neat way that you can cut this baby and have it ready to sew in an afternoon. Believe it or not. Yeah. So the Charm Squares are $14.99. That's number 102. The Jelly Roll is number 103. It is $49.99. So those are quick and easy, and you'll get your pattern free if you order a set. The next set, and I know my sister's going to be standing there going, I want that one. It's called Stormy Seas. It is beautiful blues, and I think of these as really, really guy fabrics. I do. I don't know why. But you can see these are just really gorgeous blues, and then it goes into a lighter blue. And some of the prints are the same, but the fabric colors change. Then we get into a sea green, and then as we go through, it goes a little bit into some of those darker greens that we saw in some of the other collections. And then kind of a turquoisey green, really. Then into grays, and into some of those true
brownie grays and then into the white grays that give you the contrast that you need for that quilt. So if this one strikes you, the Stormy Seas Charm Squares are sold $104. And surprise, surprise, the Jelly Roll is number 105 and it's $49.99. Again, it's just those yummy, yummy colors. And I know that those of us who live here in Florida think we don't need a flannel quilt. But we always have that day or two in the wintertime when it does get cold enough to need that. Or we have family that lives further north, and this makes a quick, easy, finished product to make them a nice quilt. We don't have the yardage for the backing to match each of these at this point, but if there's some that you really want, I will be more than happy to get one for you. And can't remember right off the top of my head, but I want to say it's 3 or 4 yards, something like that. So it's not like that's a huge expenditure to get one to match. And then when I did this one, I used the same piece as the binding that I used on the back. Now when I did this one, I used a variegated thread, so it shows up nice on that black. I know you can't see it from there, but okay, if we have anybody. Hey Pat, welcome. Haven't seen you in so long. I have to tell y'all, Pat was dating my husband when we double dated one night almost 50 years ago. We still like each other. And she's now a quilter. Okay, the next one, if you live in one of the western states, I think of that way because this one is called Desert Sunset. And this one is those rich, warm, yummy colors from that area. Starts out with the brilliant greens. Then it goes into the more grassy type greens. I'm having to look at the top of it to see. Then we go into the golds and the tans and the browns and kind of the rusty reds. It really is like a desert sunset. They're just beautiful fabrics. Isn't that pretty? I love this. Like I told you, I want to make one out of every one of them. It's got some nice chocolate colors. And then again, we go into that lighter brown. And I don't think there's any white in this one. I haven't seen any white in the sunset. I don't know. But there you go. That's the Desert Sunset. That colorway is sold $106. The charm squares are $14.99. Like I said, there's 42 of them. $107 is, surprise, surprise, the Jelly Roll of the same fabric. This is the Desert Sunset. And here are your colors. I did not take these out of the plastic because I didn't want to have them messed up when I package them and ship them to you. On your shipping, everything is $8 unless you reach $100, and then it's free shipping. So keep that in mind as you get close to it. These are just wonderful fabrics, and these are really fun colors. Looks like fall in New England as well. That's right, Sandy, it does. So 107 is the Jelly Roll and Desert Sunset. It is $49.99. Okay. We have one more colorway in that. This one is just called Colors. Claudine, you haven't come and picked up your order from last week. We need to get you over here to do that. Okay, this one is bright colors. And it just really is beautiful shades all the way through the color spectrum. So this one would be a really fun one to do if you just like a variety of colors. If you came in a little bit later, if you share this with a friend and just type share in your comments, you'll be in a drawing for a prize at the end of the night. And as some of you remember, when you register, I know, Claudine, I'm so sorry you did have a death in the family. I was only teasing you. You come anytime you want to, honey. We're going to have a drawing at the end of the night for everybody who's here tonight. So you share, you get into a second drawing. You will all receive your steps wherever you are in the process for, hi Marianne, for your mystery quilt. It is free. Some of you are further along than others. Be sure you send me your email address and we will have it in there for you. We'll get you your steps. When we have finished this mystery, we're going to start another one. So you can use up your stash as you go along. Okay, colors. Number 108, $14.99 for the charms. Number 109 for the jelly roll. So now we've run through this week's shipment of flannels from Maywood. Last night I had a live meeting with a lot of shop owners. We do that every Wednesday night. Wednesday night. Yesterday was Wednesday. And we call it our happy hour. And we talk about all the things that are going on, good and bad, in the industry. And a lot of them were saying that they kind of had run out of things to do because the fabric shipments are so slow. So if you're dealing with, whether it's my shop or anyone else's shop, please be patient with them. The factories are having trouble in some ways getting the gray goods, which is the white fabric on which they print the colors. It's coming in slowly. Somebody said yesterday that she got this week an order that was supposed to be shipped in February. So this whole pandemic thing is causing all of us kinds of things. Hey Jackie, welcome from Leavenworth. Now the pattern for this is sold, if you want just the pattern, it is sold $114. It's $10 for the pattern. So you can get that separately and use whatever fabric you have on hand if you so choose. Glad to send it to you. It's not a problem. Okay. Now, in order to sew, you need something else. Thread. And that is sold $111. It's $12.99 for 50 weight Aurifil thread. If you buy 5, you get 1 free. Tell me the colors you are interested in. We have black, cream, white, gray, and variegated. That is $111. Okay?
Let's go ahead and do the share drawing.
Robin tells me we need to do the share drawing.
And then we can do the other one.
Okay. How many people do we have?
We have 10 people.
10 people have shared, so we're going to draw a random number between 1 and 10.
Now do I need to go in here? Just type in random?
Random number,
Number generator.
there you go. Go in there.
Click on that. There we go.
I wouldn't be able to do this without Robin. Just put in your numbers 1 through 10. Kelly, you are the winner of our share drawing tonight. Hooray! Welcome. Be sure that we have your email address. Actually, what I need is your mailing address. So you might want to send that as a message versus an email on here for your privacy. We want to do that. And you are going to win a wonderful bundle of fat quarters from Hoffman. How about that? 12 fat quarters. Yay, Kelly. Congratulations. So that's for Kelly. Alrighty, next on our list, we showed this last week for those of you who were here, and we had a really good response. Hi Jerry, these sprayers from Mary Ellen's Best Press, I love these things. They make a very, very fine mist. And I put one here that's got some Best Press in it because I wasn't sure if you could tell. Inside this bottle, there is a collapsible plastic bag. And so as it goes down, it draws up. And that's what gives you that really fine mist. You can use it for water, or you can use it for Best Press. If you want to use it for starch you create for yourself, I would highly recommend that you could dilute it, is what I would do. Hi, Misty. Want you to be able to do that. Now, that is sold $112. These are $10.69 each. They are refillable, reusable. I keep one on the ironing board for water, one for my Best Press. So that's something you can use again with your sewing. So that's the Mary Ellen Best Press, sold $112, $10.69. Okie dokie. Now, one more thing you got to have for your sewing. Sewing pins. They're not very exciting, but you need them. This is sold $113. There is 100 in a box for $7.50. These are glass head pins. They're 1 7/16, I think is the length on those. Yeah, 1 7/16. So they're nice long. They're very, very sharp. This is what I use all the time, and I love them. I tend to not want old pins. They get dull. Just like your needles, they get dull. So you need to change them out periodically. So when you're having trouble and you find that they're harder to stick in, throw it away. Just throw them away, get another one. It's just not worth fighting for. I know that we did mostly flannels tonight, and a lot of you are not interested in flannels, and that's fine. Next week, we'll have some more new things for you to see. If you have any questions tonight, I want you to do that now. And then while we're waiting for you to ask your questions, we're going to give it a time down. I'm going to set a timer here. And anybody who has, there we go. Where is it? There we go. If you have not registered or have not sent me an email, do it now, because that's going to be the number we choose from those numbers for tonight's drawing for the winner of the register tonight. So we've got about 40 seconds to go. So if anybody hasn't done that, you need to do it now if you want to get a chance to win another prize. So we're going to watch it. Rob,
we wait for them to put yes, put a word in?
Yes, anything in the comment section is what you need to do. If you haven't done that tonight, do it now. We need to have that so we know how many people were here, so we can put, Carol says she registered. We want to be sure that we have you in that number. Claudine is registered. Jerry is registered. You girls are great. And this is going to get you. Now, be sure before the night is over that you send me your email address, and we'll get you the mystery step. Okay, time's up, Robin. How many do we have?
They're still coming in. Hang on.
All right.
So there's quite a lag in between here.
Okay, there's a lag, she says, between my computer and hers. So we're going to give it a minute. And she's getting everybody down. Can you tell we're low tech around here?
I know, right?
It's okay. We have fun.
My phone
Okay, we're still hanging in there. Don't give up on us. I'm going to reach over here and find something else to do a prize with. Are you ready?
What about the video I did for the other night on the I know you don't have a number though for it, do you? The magnifying lens.
No, I didn't see it.
I brought one back. I brought it back.
Yeah, you brought it back, but I know you did a video on it.
Yeah, it was on my page.
Okay, Robin says that she did a video on her page, SRQ Quilters, that showed the use of the spot-on dot magnifiers. Let me pull that out. Ah, I dropped it. I know some of you have seen this before, but these are magnifying dots for those of us who
I didn't know if you need one of those.
yes, thank you. Yes, I see a couple of you said you had seen hers. These are for those of us who eyesight's getting bad. They're stick-on dots. There's a 1 inch and a 2 inch that magnify the cutting lines on your rulers. Obviously, you're not going to be using your ruler in a vertical position like this. But, and these, that one just fell off. These are not sticky on the back, but they stick to it so they won't slide around. They just kind of make a little bit of a suction on there, but they don't slide around for you. And they come in a nice little case to keep them from getting scratched. Yes, Jackie, they will be. Jackie has asked if this will be available. As soon as we finish the live program tonight, we finish it, we upload it to YouTube, it'll be there, it'll be on the Quilters Quarters Facebook page so you can see it. And everything we've run through tonight, you're going to see the whole thing over. So if you've purchased and you're getting closer to that $100 figure and you don't want to waste your money on shipping, look at that. If there's something else you want to throw in, then that's fine. If not, it's all $8 is the total on your shipping. All right, these are from the Gypsy Quilter. They're called Spot on Dot. I don't have a number on that one tonight. They are $16.99 for this set. So if you're like me and your bifocals sometimes cause you issues when you're looking at your cutting board, these are really superior. I had originally fallen in love with these because my sister fell and broke the eyeball socket and had a really hard time. Hi, Carrie. Seeing what she was doing, and so these have helped there. Okay, are we ready to draw a number, madam?
Okay, we just took in our last one.
Okay, how many do we have?
We have 10 people registered or put in for the
Okay,
drawing.
we have 10 people who are in for that drawing. How about that? Juanita, we need your email address. You won Fat Quarters from Hoffman as well. Aren't those pretty? Now you're going to get, okay, Sheila says she wants a spot on dot. We're going to do this every week. So if you want to share every week, you get in a drawing. And when you come, you get to get into that. Again, please, please, please make sure that I have your email address so I can send you your mystery pattern, and because that's free. And then you can use up some of your stash. And yay, Jackie, good, thank you. So that is what we are covering tonight. I know it's a little shorter tonight than normal. But honestly, I pinched my sciatic nerve and I could only work so long this week. So I'm a little slower tonight than I have been. Thank you all for coming and joining us tonight. And we will see you next Thursday at 7 o'clock again, Eastern Time. If you have any questions or concerns, now this goes onto the site, you'll be able to go into the site. You'll see everything we did tonight, everything we sold tonight. You'll see the video. You'll be able to see the prior videos, and you'll be able to see everything that's in that website that we have done through this program. Feel free to call me, write me, send me emails, ugly messages, whatever makes you happy, just so that we keep in contact with you. And we hope to see you next week, and have a wonderful, wonderful week. So thank you, everybody. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Don't wear a mask, whatever makes you happy. I'm living with one. I sometimes get in the car and forget to take it off. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.